This section will look at the breakup from a slightly different perspective. We will describe the 3 stages of a breakup: shock, anger, and acceptance. There's no getting around it, and breakups are not pleasant. When you lose a loved one overnight, your world turns upside down. Everything is different. You wake up in an empty bed. Your plans together suddenly stop. You don't know how you're supposed to treat his friends, whom you've grown fond of. You don't know what to do with your free time because you've always done everything together. Well, and above all, you don't feel like doing anything. You feel depressed, hurt, powerless. You feel like your life has fallen apart. There is no exaggeration in this. Studies show that after a breakup, you go through the same emotional phases as someone whose loved one has died. You experience something similar to mourning. Therefore, if your friends tell you 2 days after a breakup that there is nothing to grieve for and that you should finally get over it, don't listen to them. You have the right to feel bad. You have the right to need some time to find yourself in a new situation and come to terms with the loss. Because after all, you have lost someone very close to you, and no one can deny that. Of course, a breakup can go through better or worse. Some people get back on their feet fairly quickly, and others can't get back together for years. But it's essential to be aware of the stages you must go through before you can say you've dealt with what happened. Shock and denial. We all know it. These are the first moments or days when you can't believe what happened. You don't accept it. You always think that he will call immediately and everything will be fine. You keep repeating to yourself that it can't be true, that it's just a quarrel, that your partner will surely come to his senses soon and get back to you. At this stage, you also often act as if it doesn't occur to you that you are no longer together. You reach for the phone to call your partner and catch yourself wanting to tell him about your day. You could even arrive unannounced at his door to talk about what happened. You send him lots of text messages, begging him to talk to you and stop messing around with this situation. Well, but denial gets you nowhere. If you pretend for too long that nothing has changed, you might hear some bitter words from your ex about how, for once in your life, you could accept your decision or that your partner made himself. The second stage is anger. Often, this stage occurs relatively quickly. You can't believe that your partner did something so despicable and left. You are angry at your partner, at yourself, at the entire opposite sex of this world, and sometimes even at random people around you. It's that moment when you get together with your friends and try to convince them that all guys in the world are bastards and that they can't be trusted, or all women are bitches. You want to manifest your anger and disappointment. You often try to unwind by telling embarrassing secrets about your ex, deleting photos of you together, or destroying your mementos. The stage of anger is very insidious because, under the influence of emotions, you may do things you would never usually do. You could send him dozens of messages and berate him for all his faults. You could take it out on your friends who tried to help you. Maybe you get drunk for the show, demonstrating to everyone how unhappy you are, or try to drag his friends to your side. Or even worse, you start dating his close friends to make your partner jealous or piss him off. This is the stage where losing face and making yourself a laughingstock is easiest. These things will not impress your ex. If anything, he may feel embarrassed. Up to now, you have been driven by anger, but in the next stage, you lose your strength and would prefer not to get out of bed. You are depressed, sad, lonely. You are easily led off balance, perhaps crying in solitude. You gradually cut yourself off from your friends. You prefer to be alone, hide from the world, and reflect on what you have lost. You feel you don't have the energy to deal with the simplest things. Sometimes you can't stand it anymore and write to your partner. You tell him how much you miss him, how bad you are without him, and how much you love him. Somewhere, there is still a spark of hope that this will do something, that your confession will move him, and that he will return to you. But he often doesn't write back or doesn't want to. At this stage, you also often blame yourself for everything that has happened. You feel unattractive, uninteresting, hopeless. You may even think you are not worthy of love and will always be alone again. Fortunately, this stage does not last forever. The last stage is acceptance. Eventually, it slowly begins to occur to you that it's time to leave your ex behind and move on with your life. Sometimes you continue to feel sorry for him, and sometimes you miss him, but these feelings are no longer so overwhelming that they take away your will to live. You begin to understand that it had to be this way. You slowly accept that things didn't work out in your relationship as they should have. Maybe you didn't fit together. Perhaps you didn't know how to get along. You also recognize the good moments of your relationship. These memories are already no longer painful at this stage, and you also return to your everyday life. You begin to set goals for yourself and have the strength to achieve them. You begin to think that you will still be happy with some other partner someday, and only at this stage do you become ready for a new relationship. Does all this sound familiar? Everyone who has broken up with someone has undergone the same stages. The other thing is that some people can do it with dignity and fairly quickly, while others struggle with reality for a very long time and do many things they later regret. What then should you do to get through this challenging period? First of all, give yourself time. A breakup is not something you can pick up after 2 days. And if you've managed to do so, you're either still in deep denial or didn't care about this partner at all. Give yourself time to adjust to the new situation, and don't expect to regain control of everything in a few hours. Feel free to ask for help. You don't have to go through all this alone. If you need to talk it out, get together with a friend, your sister, your brother, your mom, or anyone. If you're feeling cranky, it won't hurt to seek help from a specialist, go to a psychologist, or see a doctor who can give you something to soothe your nerves and insomnia. Don't withdraw from life. After the breakup, you may have neither the energy nor the desire to socialize, but try not to lock yourself inside 4 walls. It's clear that you're not the soul of the company right now, but sitting alone at home will only make you wallow in gloomy thoughts. Find something to do, and don't distract yourself from your friends. Try to pay attention to your duties at work. Try to remember every day that your life is not just this one partner. He may be gone, but you always have other people close to you. You have a job, you have a home, you have interests that give you pleasure. Focus on the things that you are good at and that you enjoy. This will help you regain your self-confidence and help you feel in control of the situation and your life. Remind yourself every day that you can enjoy the little things. Even if nothing seems joyful anymore, try to do things that have always made you happy. Take a relaxing bath, cook your favorite dish, read a good book, and listen to your favorite song. They don't have to be big things, but the point is that even in this challenging time, you should remember that you can enjoy life. Do something good for others. Find someone you need. It's not about you taking comfort in the fact that someone has it worse than you. It's more about making you feel useful and needed. You get out of bed in the morning with the idea that someone is counting on you, that they are waiting for you, and that this is more important than sitting in your pajamas all day. Visit someone you haven't seen in a long time from your family. Offer your help to someone who needs it, perhaps relieve your parents or siblings of some chores. Knowing that you are doing something worthwhile will help you feel better. Breakups are not easy, but contrary to what you may think, it isn't the end of the world. Life will continue, and you must find your place in it. And you really will feel better at some point. And I'll even say more. You'll fall in love again and probably be happier in this relationship than in the previous one. Of course, I wish you as few breakups as possible and as many successful relationships as possible, but don't lose your head if something goes wrong. Just take these tips to heart and remember that you still have a lot of happiness ahead of you. I invite you to the next section. If you liked the material, leave a like and send it to a friend or someone close to you who may benefit from this knowledge. If you want to support our work and help us create more valuable videos, there is a link in the description.